What's up, everybody? So, funny story. I actually ran out of things to say for once. I didn't think that was going to happen throughout sports talk radio and also up here online and on YouTube. But this week I was kind of stuck, which is why I have a delayed video, if you will. I usually produce my videos on Sundays, but I couldn't think of anything. And I was thinking, well, I work for the Seattle Mariners, so I'm not going to talk about the Seattle Mariners because I don't want to bash an employer or compliment an employer online, which is going to be very hard this year. And I did actually go to a Mariners game, saw them beat the Blue Jays 3-2, and got to see Michael Pineda's first win as a pitcher in the major leagues. So that was cool. But I didn't put anything together, once again, because I work for the team. I thought, well, I can't talk Seattle Thunderbirds. They didn't make the playoffs for the second year in a row, unfortunately. I thought about them letting go of their coach, but it's decided not to talk about that. And I thought, well, how about Sounders? Well, I've only been able to watch 2 Sounder games, so I don't think that really makes me qualified to talk about the Sounders yet. And then, lo and behold, I remembered the NHL Playoffs start this week. So, I'm going to talk about my picks on who I would like to see go to the Stanley Cup Finals and who I would like to see win the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm taking a different approach this year because I was extremely busy throughout the hockey season. Didn't necessarily have enough time to follow the NHL as much as I'd like to, and so I did watch games, just not as many as I usually do. So instead of giving you some analysis, I'm going to go over teams who I hope go far in the Stanley Cup Finals. And you may be a little bit surprised on who I think is, if I compliment some New York Islander rivals, because before I became an Islanders fan, I actually grew a lot of respect for Atlantic Division opponents, which I know sounds really weird because in my other sports, baseball and football, I hate all the division teams. But I actually have a lot of respect for the Devils, the Flyers, and the Penguins. The only team I can't really stand in the division is the Rangers. So you might be a little bit surprised who I would like to see go deep into the playoffs as this video proceeds. So this is who I would like to get out of the first round in the NHL playoffs. We'll start with the Western Conference. Let's start with the Nashville Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. Now, frankly, I don't like either team. I do not like either team. Don't like the Ducks. Didn't root for them when they won the Stanley Cup in 2007 against Ottawa. Don't know too much about Nashville. I know they're looking for their first playoff series win. But I am going to go with Nashville. I would like to see them go. Why? Because I have some friends who were in the Husky band, and they have a little story where they were performing during the women's NCAA women's basketball tournament in Nashville, and they were able to go to a Nashville Predators game. Some of them have actually stayed fans of the Predators and followed them and bought jerseys. So I'm going to go with Nashville. That's who I would like to see over the Ducks. For the Phoenix Coyotes and the Detroit Red Wings. Once again, don't really care about either team, but I'm going to go with the Coyotes. Why is this? Well, I hate the Red Wings. I hate 3 teams in the NHL, and the Red Wings are one of those teams. I do like Chris Osgood. I do. Former Seattle Thunderbird, came from Seattle, but don't like the team he played for. So the reason why I don't like the Red Wings is because they ruined my first 2 Stanley Cups. They ruined when they took down Philadelphia and Washington in the late 90s, just 1, 2, 3, 4, and they often have a tendency to take the finals, the fun out of the Stanley Cup Finals. In fact, the only time where they didn't take the fun out of it was when Pittsburgh actually took them down in 7 games, which was awesome. So I would like to see the Coyotes win that series. Then we have the San Jose Sharks versus the Los Angeles Kings. I am rooting for the Sharks in this playoff series. Why? Because I'm a Patrick Marleau fan. I really hope that they win for him. Former Seattle Thunderbird. He's been with the Sharks for an extremely long time. And he was really playing, last year in the playoffs, he played his tail off. And it's kind of funny to actually see him grow a playoff beard. That's never happened. So I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks because I want Patrick Marleau to go deep into the playoffs. Finally, we got the Vancouver Canucks and the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, I like both teams. I do. I'm going to go with Vancouver. Why? Because I live closer to Vancouver than Chicago. I also went to a Canucks game last year, saw them clinch the division. That was a lot of fun, and I it would really be cool that if the Canucks actually pulled it off. You know, they won the President's Trophy this year. They scored the most points in the NHL, and it would be really cool if they were to go far and maybe go to the Stanley Cup playoffs, Stanley Cup Finals, excuse me, possibly win it for not just them but Canada. I know Canada really wants that cup drought to end. So I'm going to go with Vancouver. If Chicago does beat Vancouver, I could possibly root for Chicago because I like Patrick Kane and I like how the Blackhawks are set up. So those are my picks for the Western Conference in the first round. Here's my who I would like to see advance in the first round in the Eastern Conference. We'll start with the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. I want the Capitals. Why? I'm an Islanders fan. Want the Rangers to go down. End of story. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres. Now, I actually, like I said, I have respect for Philadelphia. I do. But I'm going to take Buffalo in this one. Why? Because Philadelphia has had recent success compared to the Sabres. And I am a Ryan Miller fan. So I would like to see the Buffalo Sabres defeat the Philadelphia Flyers. Up next, we have the Canadiens, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Boston Bruins. Going with the Canadiens because I have a hatred toward Boston teams right now after what's going on right now in the late decade and how pretty much every single Boston fan, with the exception of maybe a few, are just a bunch of obnoxious fans. So I'm going to go with the Montreal Canadiens over the Bruins. Finally, I got Pittsburgh over the Tampa Bay Lightning. I hope that the Penguins do well because never been a fan of the Lightning. I did root for the Flames when the Lightning took down the Flames. That sounds kind of funny. Before the strike, and although it's kind of nice to see the Lightning kind of rebound after winning the Stanley Cup because I mean the strike really hurt them. So that's who I would like to go out of the first round. Now I'm going to talk about who I would like to see in the Stanley Cup Finals. I picked two teams from each conference. The team. The kind of the honorable mention here. It's not my first pick, but the team I would like to see go to the Stanley Cup Finals in the Western Conference. Second team would be the San Jose Sharks. Again, because of Patrick Marleau, and frankly, I don't like to use this term because there's never really just the word deserve doesn't really mean anything in sports. You have to earn everything. But San Jose has gone through so many problems with their playoff history. It's kind of ridiculous. So it kind of would be nice to see San Jose go to the Stanley Cup Finals just for that reason. Number 2, Vancouver Canucks. Really would like them to go to the Stanley Cup Finals and win it for Vancouver because I mean they got the Sedin brothers, they got Sammy Salo, they got Ryan Kessler, excuse me. I think they're just a fun team to watch, and it would be awesome, if a team that's kind of close to Seattle actually wins a big major championship. In the Eastern Conference, the number 1 team I have is the. Let's start with the second team. The second team I would like to see go to the Stanley Cup Finals would be the Buffalo Sabres because it kind of would be nice to see the Sabres go to the Finals because of what happened the last time they were in. It was a great Stanley Cup Finals. It just unfortunately ended on a sour note on the most controversial goal or game-winning goal in Stanley Cup Finals history, in my opinion, when they lost to the Dallas Stars. The first team I would like to see go are the Washington Capitals. Why? Because I'm an Alexander Ovechkin fan. I'm also a Brooks Laich fan. He's a former Seattle Thunderbird, so it'd kind of be cool to see him go to the finals and possibly win it. Who I would like to see win it at all, like I said before, the Vancouver Canucks. All right, so thanks very much for watching this delayed video, and give me what you think below. So talk to you all next week, and thanks for watching.